Properties are bought and sold all the time. Before signing their life away, many buyers will have a home inspection to avoid inheriting nasty surprises. What the buyer rarely considers are the nasty surprises that show up in the garden, especially when the deal goes down in winter. They typically show up with the tulips, if the squirrels haven't already taken care of them. The most troublesome are shrubs and trees. The wrong ones in the wrong place, the overgrown and neglected ones, and the ones no one ever planted. It's time for a little pruning here. The best time to prune trees and shrubs is when they are dormant. We prune to remove dead, damaged branches. We prune to remove any that crisscross and rub against each other. But shrubs like this boxwood or hedge material, they're pruned to shape. And normally you would prune so that it's narrower at the top so the shrub doesn't hold snow in winter, as this boxwood probably has. That's why it's spread out so far, needs taking in hand. The one thing to remember about pruning is if it's a shrub that blooms in spring like forsythia or flowering almond, don't prune until after blooming is finished, otherwise you'll be cutting off the buds that were formed on the branches last year. I've clipped off some of the wayward branches here. It will take a year or two to get this boxwood back into shape, but the nature of it is it's a tightly woven sort of shrub, and with repeated pruning it will tighten up. Well, it's better already. Here are a couple of shrubs that need some serious pruning. Down here we have a barberry shrub. It's a nice shrub in the right location, but it's encroaching on the front steps, and the problem with barberry is they're covered with these nasty little spines. Behind it we have the Russian olive with even bigger thorns on it. These need to be seriously pruned, even removed completely. Most shrubs and trees are best pruned while dormant, especially deciduous ones. A little pruning after leaves sprout won't cause harm. It's just easier to see what needs trimming. Dead, diseased and wayward branches. They should be cut out, and if the shrub needs shaping at all, say it's a hedge, make it generally thinner at the top and wider at the base. And don't remove more than a third each year. When cutting, cut just above a leaf node, and if you want to control the way a branch is growing, select a leaf node that's pointing in the direction you want it to grow. If a tree requires ladders and chainsaws to lop off branches, unless you've auditioned for Cirque du Soleil, I highly recommend you hire a professional. Here are two of the reasons why we prune branches on trees. Here's an example where one branch is crossing another one. They will rub together. Eventually one or both will die. Here's one that was damaged in the ice storm, I would say. It needs taking out completely back down to the trunk, and that will require a chainsaw. When cutting thicker branches like this crossing one that I'm cutting, it's important to pay attention to the branch collar. That's where it thickens out at the base. You need to cut just above that. That's the best place because it will heal naturally there. Cut it too long and you could get rotting. The other important thing is to cut it on an angle so that rainwater runs off. Again, moisture could run in there, insects could get in and cause a problem. And that'll teach you. Hey, that worked well. Any questions, email me at garden@gto.net. I'm David Hobson for therecord.com.